Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Trust you're doing great. Today, I want us to discuss something very important and fundamental in our existence. And what is that? That is very fundamental. I'm Dr. Mona. Getting healing and relationship. Relationship can bring fulfillment, great joy, but it can sometimes be a source of grief and difficulty. Taking responsibility in our relationship are critical stages towards developing deeper connection with ourselves and others. Sometimes most of the unforgiveness dwells between husband and wife, parents and children. I can only offend you because we have something in common. I want us to draw from science and biblical wisdom to look at how we might rebuild our ties and accept responsibility for our roles within them. Sometimes we are quick to tell people who have wounded us emotionally, but we are slow or blind to discover what action we performed that led to the hurt we are feeling. Understanding the need of healing. Every partnership is a period of highs and lows, arguments, misunderstandings, and damaged feelings. These things are unavoidable in every relationship. Where I have problem with people is when they dwell in it so long. I've met some ladies because a man walked out of your life, refused to enter into another relationship because you have not allowed healing, and years keep passing. The same thing applicable with some men because a woman disappointed you, dwell in it for a long time without allowing healing to take place. You cage yourself. And don't be surprised that the other partner has moved on with his life. Even when you go out telling the other person his action that wounded your heart, he or she might not even remember. That is why emotional wound is very crafty. The person that wounded you may not even understand his actions that hurt you. But there you are, dying in resentment, dying in condemnation, dying in judgment. According to a psychological research, conflict is natural, but it can also be a positive aspect of relationships when managed productively. This is what Dr. John Gottman says. A well-known relationship specialist emphasizes that key to a good relationship is not the absence of conflicts, but how we manage it. How we manage conflict matters so much in our relationship with our children, in the family, and outside the family. The Bible recognizes this reality as found in Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so does one person sharpen another. Conflict, if well handled with compassion and tolerance, can lead to the growth and greater understanding. Emotional healing does not just come. For you to achieve emotional healing in your life, no matter the walk of life where you are affected, no matter the area of life that you are affected, as your colleague in the office wounded you, your past relationship, your present relationship, you cannot achieve healing without forgiveness. Emotional healing is the product of forgiveness. Forgiveness is a key component in healing. Holding grudges and past injuries can poison our hearts and serve our relationships. A poisoned heart will not bring anything good out of it. It can only produce poisons, which will affect the relationship and will also affect the person who is producing the poisons. According to research, forgiveness is associated with a variety of health advantages, including lower stress and enhanced mental health. The Bible in the book of Ephesians 4:32 reminds us to be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving one another, just as God forgave us in Christ. Forgiveness does not imply endorsing bad behavior, but rather liberating oneself from the bond of bitterness, from the bond of resentment, from the bond of poisoned hearts. The first step in achieving forgiveness is to take responsibility, which is one of the most difficult but essential components of healing relationship. Jesus said that what will make us to fail will abound. The problem is not someone who offended you, but how you accepted the offense, how you managed the offense. That person may commit the offense and move on with his or her life while you are dwelling there. And don't be surprised if you walk up to that person to let the person know his action that got you offended, or he or she might even laugh over it. Healing in every relationship is accepting responsibility for our behavior and attitude. In every offense, there is something that sparked an offense. The question is, what did you do to spark the offense? Could be your attitude, the way you communicated. It could be your response to a question. It is simple to point fingers and blame others for our issues. But true healing begins when we start to examine ourselves. What did I do that contributed to this action? According to a study, people who practice self-reflection and take responsibility for their actions have more fulfilling, long-lasting relationships. I take my quote again from the Bible, which also addressed this in Matthew 7:3-5, where Jesus asks, "Why do you gaze at specks of sawdust in your brother's eye and ignore the plank in your own eyes?" He went further to say, "First remove the plank from your own eye, and then we see well enough to remove the speck from your brother's eyes." Take responsibility for whatever wound you have incurred, wound of failed relationship, wound of disappointment, wound of maltreatment from your partner, from your spouse, from your parents. There is something that led to that. And what the question you ask yourself, take self-reflection. What was that led to the other person's attitude or action towards you? So communication is foundation of all healthy relationships. Open, honest, empathetic discussion can help to bridge gaps and develop understanding. I want to also quote the originator of non-violent communication, Dr. Marshall. He emphasized the need of communicating our needs and feelings without judgment or criticism. My Bible too emphasized the power of words in Ephesians 4:29. It said, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." Sometimes the way we said it creates a problem. Make people feel worthless, make people devalued, make people look like fools. Self-reflection. Your communication is very important in every relationship. How did you talk to your child? How did you communicate your feeling to your spouse? How did you bring that issue to the table for discussion? Number 3 key to embrace to achieve emotional healing: building trust. In one of my teachings, I said that trust is the glue that keeps partners, husband and wife, parents and children, colleagues together. Trust. Without trust, the cornerstone of every relationship becomes unstable. When trust goes, they can be under one roof, but partners cannot trust themselves anymore. They cannot communicate honestly. They cannot be open. According to research, consistency, dependability, transparency are key to establishing trust. In my Bible, we are given advice. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." Trusting God and seeking to be trustworthy in our relationship can result in stronger, more resilient partnership. Trusting God. You cannot do much without God. Except the Lord builds a home, except the Lord builds a relationship, except the Lord builds a house, the laborers labor in vain. No matter what you are doing, without connecting your trust to God, no matter how you are wounded, you are seeking emotional healing, run back to God. Ask Him for help. Trust Him to help you. Instead of dwelling in your wounds for 1 year to 10 years, that's a big gap. And moreover, you are the one who determines how every action affects you. Another key point is humility. Humility is a virtue that has a tremendous impact in our relationships. God is interested in a humble heart. It enables us to own our flaws and be open to improvements. Research has revealed that humble people are more likely to have positive relationships. I take you back to my Bible again. Philippians 2:3. The Bible states, "Do not act out of selfish ambition or conceit. Rather, in humility, prioritize others over yourself." Put others first. In your relationship, put others first. Serve others first. Look for the happiness of others first, then yourself. When your partner, your children, your colleague, and relations knows that you value their happiness, you value them, they will respond positively to you. In every relationship, others first, you come last. Forget about the theory and the teaching of this present generation. Once I feel good, once it is okay with me, every other person does not matter. No, humility will make you put others first. Another key to achieve emotional healing: practice patience. Healing relationships require time and care. There will be setbacks and periods of irritation, but perseverance is essential. Research on relationship maintenance emphasizes the significance of patience and long-term commitment in maintaining successful relationships. The Bible provides insights in Galatians 6:9. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." If we do not give up, my brother, my sister, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it can be discouraging. But my Bible said, do not give up. In due time, you will reap your harvest. Don't also seek to revenge. No matter how deep wound the hurt is, just give it time. That you are disappointed in that relationship, just give it time and trust God for healing. Also, you can reach out to the person that hurt you. Trust God to help you achieve healing. Also, trust your partner that he will help you. No matter what has gone wrong in your relationship, build trust. You are single because that sister or that brother, the gentleman, the lady walked away, and you quickly rushed into another relationship simply because you are wounded. Give time for healing to take place before you can start another relationship. Get healing. Finally, I want to say that repairing our relationships and accepting responsibility are critical steps towards developing deeper, more rewarding bonds. By practicing forgiveness, self-reflection, good communication, trust, humility, and patience. As we go through life, let us remember the words of Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14 to 14. It says, "Be patient and forgive one another. If any of you has grievances against someone, forgive just as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, lay on love, which unites them all in perfect harmony." May we seek to embrace these values in our relationships. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. But please don't forget to like. Liking encourages me to research more and to do more. Subscribe alerts you whenever I release a new video. Comment helps me to grow. Thank you. I cannot build a community that will preserve the marital dignity without you.